Can you hear me? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. No. Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
That's the one. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But apparently, we're having once again, we're having problems. But that's my fault. But anyway, how are you doing, Crystal?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Still trying to get a hold of this program, trying to get all the kinks out of it. It's a relatively new program, and so we're trying to take advantage of it. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So, so tell us what's been going on with you. What's going on? How have you
Yeah.
been?
Um, Good. Working on new music, recording, taking care of my kiddos, working, just life. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier today, you have some music behind you. You've got your album that's already been released for those people that aren't too familiar with your music, but you've won at the Tejano Music Award. I don't see how people wouldn't be able to or wouldn't know who you are. But just a little bit of background from what I understand from my deep thinking internet study and everything else. Um, you were born in Colorado. You were raised in Des Moines, Iowa,
Yeah.
and then here you are in Texas. Wow, that's a trip. What? Give us a little bit of background on how that transpired.
Yeah. So I was actually born in Kansas.
Yeah.
And
Oh, Kansas. I said
right,
Colorado.
it's all good. It's right next to it. And then I was
Mhm.
raised in Iowa. My grandma actually did migrant farm work, when she was younger, raising my mom and my tios. And so she just kind of moved her way on up. And so I was born in Kansas, and then, we settled in Iowa. My mom and my grandmother are from Texas, from West Texas, and that's kind of how Tejano music came into play. I was raised on all sorts of music, but Tejano was at the forefront because of my mom and my grandmother.
Mhm. And as far as you were raised in, I mean, your mom is from like here in this area, right? She's not too far from San Angelo. She's kind of from West Texas, isn't she?
Odessa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Odessa,
So
Texas, which is right around the
I,
corner from us. It's
yeah.
90 miles away.
I have lots of family over in West Texas, and I actually have family in San Angelo too. We were there a couple months ago, so yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. So, what brought you to San Angelo? Sorry, I'm not prying or
Oh,
anything. You don't have to say, but
my husband actually is a semi-pro disc golfer, and so they had a
oh
big
yeah.
there, and yeah, so we went over there and we spent time with family, and it was actually my first time in San Angelo, and I really liked it. It's a beautiful little town.
Yeah, there's a really big tournament that they have here. I used to work for for the TV station, and I would
Hmm.
cover it every year. As far as the excuse me, as far as the the disc golf tournament. So that's cool. I mean, that's a little different for your husband to be a disc golfer. That's not, you know, even though it's a really popular sport, most people don't even know, that
Yeah,
that's that big of a deal.
yeah, it really is. It's an interesting sport, and he gets, to have fun and make money doing it. So, we're
You're right. That's always a plus, is having some fun
right.
and make it. So you won for your Tejano Music Award for Best New Artist, right? Am I
Hmm.
correct in that?
Yeah, that was in 2014. So it's kind of crazy that it was almost 10 years ago. But yeah, it was a really amazing experience, and really, I still think back to this day, and I still can't believe I won, but it was cool.
Yeah, that's always a cool thing there, especially considering the fact that um, from what I'm reading, your family, even though they were very supportive, your mother had a very definitive. You're going to go to school before you try this whole crazy Tejano thing. Is that correct?
Mm. Yeah, anybody who knows us knows that my mom and her view on education was just very, very important. And out of my four siblings, was the one who fought it the most. And I went to college kicking and screaming. But now looking back, I'm grateful, for the fact that she pushed me to go to college and to graduate and get degrees, because it's really honestly what has kept us afloat, especially during the pandemic. So
Right.
I went kicking and screaming, but I ended up, graduating, and yeah, so I'm very grateful she was so adamant about that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because don't you have a master's degree?
I do. So it's funny because, as I said, I went kicking and screaming, and then graduated with my degree. And then I started working. And when I started working, one of the perks of my first job was free college tuition. So I thought, okay, well, I'm already here. Why don't I just start taking graduate courses? And then lo and behold, went and got my master's. So that's why.
So you're like, okay, mom, I don't want to do this, but now you're like, okay, thank God I did.
It's funny. I think, when you first graduate from high school, you don't necessarily know what you want to do. And I knew that I wanted to sing, but I didn't know what I wanted to do for a career. And so when I got my bachelor's, it was just studies that I wasn't really like interested in. I just graduated, with that degree. It's in Spanish, actually. um, and then when I
Mhm.
went on to get a master's, it was an emphasis in HR, which is what I do today for work. And so it really, I think, once you find your passion and what you like to study and learn about, it makes it much easier. So.
So why didn't you go into teaching though? I'm not prying, but that's kind of see. Okay. First of all, let me give you my background. I have 4 college degrees. Okay,
Oh.
and I actually substituted 2 years for 2 years at a local high school. I did math for remedial math. So, I had that experience and yeah, there was some, yeah, okay. I mean, teaching is hard, hard for a person like me, but I did do it. And then it was just one of those things that I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. But I just didn't have the one to teach. And I guess it takes a special kind of person to teach. I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying, I did enjoy it, but I was kind of not motivated to do it, if that makes any sense. So, were you that
Yeah.
kind of person, or you just said, you know what, I'm going to take me this route?
Honestly, like you said, it takes a very special person to teach. And I give kudos to teachers I think they're angels on earth. I have no patience whatsoever, nor am I organized. And so I was like, you know what? I don't think that I could deal with, the children, especially when they're unruly. And so I just kind of took a step back and said, I don't think that's the career path for me. And so that's why I didn't go into education,
Yeah.
which
No,
I'm married.
I understand that part. Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't, and especially now with what's happened here recently, we have people saying they want to arm teachers now, and I don't know if that's the answer. In my opinion, it's not. But you know, it's we're asking so much of teachers right now. It's a shame that we're asking more of them already. We're cutting your budget, but we want you to teach more.
Right.
We know it's better to shrink the classes down, but we want to expand the classes. You're not going to have you know, all the things available to you. But hey, by the way, we need you to take this gun course and carry a gun. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to me. I can't even fathom how, being a teacher, how
Well,
they can do that.
not only, um, we had friends who actually lost a daughter in Uvalde, Stephen Garcia and Jennifer Lugo. They lost their little girl Ellie in the Uvalde shooting,
Hmm.
and I cannot even, imagine the pain that the rest of the families are feeling, right now. I've been checking on my friends, to make sure that they're okay. Um, Checking on them to see if they need anything. But at the same token, two teachers lost their lives, and they laid down their lives for those babies, and we do ask a lot of teachers. And I think that definitely things need to change. And I'm usually not vocal as far as voting or who to vote for or political parties or anything like that. But I think that things do need to change. And I know I have a voice, I have a platform where I, have I'm lucky enough to reach an audience. And so I just ask everybody out there watching, we need to speak up for these families who have just experienced this, not only in Uvalde, but Buffalo and all the shootings prior to that, to ensure that there are no more families that have to go through this again. You know, we need to
Right.
band together and vote so that there is change, you know.
Definitely. And unfortunately, there it's a polarizing issue when it shouldn't be. We're talking about children here. We're talking about lives, people's lives in general. Just, everyone who passes is a child of someone,
Mhm.
and whether they're 50 years old or 5, they're still someone's child. And, that should be our fundamental, it should be your fundamental right to have a good life, not, you know, think about it, you know, schools,
Yeah.
work, concerts, libraries, grocery stores. It's happened everywhere, and with some of it has not been, it's spontaneous, even though it's been much of it has been predicated or premeditated, but it still is, it's a horrible thing. And my condolences obviously to all of the families. It's a shame that this is a constant conversation. It has to be, though. It has to be brought up. It affects every facet of our life, much like COVID did. It affected everybody. Somebody knows somebody that suffered from COVID, and but it was politicized and unnecessarily so. And so the same thing with this thing. There's basic steps that we should be taking. No law is absolute. No no amendment is absolute. You know, we forget that. We listen to other people, you know, try to dictate to us that, you know, it's our yes, it is a Second Amendment right. However, um, you know, our First Amendment right, we have restrictions on our First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. You know, you can't yell fire in a theater; it's against the law. So
Right.
nothing is absolute. We should understand that. But
Definitely.
unfortunately, it's a conversation that we have to have, and that's unfortunate. And you being with your, you know, someone that you know, it's got to be tough for you because you want to do something, but you also have to be mindful of your career and also uh, uh, you know, try to help as much as you can with your career, which I really
Yeah.
admire because you were also part of another program, or not a program, but another kind of revival of sorts. It was the Tejano Unidas
Mhm.
song, which was a beautiful song for people that haven't heard it, which you should be. I mean, what were you living under a rock to not know that that song is a beautiful song? It's so impactful. What was the driving force for you to join this? I mean, 25 women of Tejano come
Yeah.
together, you know, and they sing this beautiful song of hope, which is what we need now, and especially in this very polarizing time that we live in. What was the motivating factor for you to do that? Because also there's back, you know, behind the scenes footage of where every artist was talked to and some of their
Yeah.
motivations, and I've seen some of yours. So obviously, because I was partly involved in it.
Yeah.
But how did what was that thing that made you say I wanted to be part of this?
Honestly, um, you mentioned, my career and taking risks and all of that, whatnot. Um, in tandem with, kind of speaking up and putting, my voice out there against the recent shootings because it did impact, somebody that I knew. When this project came about, there were, some people behind the scenes that were like, well, you kind of have to take a step back and see if this is going to be positive for your career. And, it's not really, people don't really, artists don't really talk about their faith, right? If they're not, um, doing Christian music. For me,
Mhm.
speaking up for what or speaking up for my faith or anything like that has never, um, I guess, been a thought as far as my career goes. I've always been one who was raised, um, to do what is right, to treat one another with kindness. And in going with that, I was raised with a lot of faith. And so my parents worked a lot when we were growing up. And pretty much it was my grandma who raised us because they had opposite schedules. So, my grandma would work nights so that she could take care of us during the day. And her faith is huge. And she raised me
Mm.
to have big faith. And so, one of the big driving forces for me agreeing to do this project is that I wanted to, I guess, be a beacon of hope, so to speak, to women out there who might have at one point or another been disadvantaged or, thought to themselves, how am I going to do this as a single mom? Because I was a single mom for about 3.5 years before I met my husband. And I got pregnant about 6 months after I moved to San Antonio. And my mom was
Oh gosh.
livid. She said, I did
Oh
not
yeah.
send you pregnant. You better get your ASS back to Iowa. And I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I had lost my job. Um, I honestly didn't know how I was going to get into the Tejano industry or how I was going to make things happen, right? But I put all my faith in God and I put all my faith in La Virgen. Um, You know, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew it would happen. And my faith has just always gotten me through hard times, through happy times, through sad times, you know? And so I wanted a way to share that with the world. And this project was the perfect opportunity. And so it was a really moving experience to be able to go and record with everyone and to share our stories with one another because there are a lot of awesome stories that each of us have and they're unique to each of us. But you know, I just wanted a way to show people that, you know, you might not have everything, but as long as you have family and faith, you can make it. And so here I am, you know.
Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to that song. And like I said, 25 Tejano female artists are there. Um, it's a beautiful song. It's something, you know, that it inspired me. It gave me hope, and so hopefully those of you that are listening can get some hope from it too. It's visually it's wonderful as well. Here is Tejanas Unidas en Cristo.
Aquí estás, debemos mover, te adoraré, te adoraré. Aquí estás, obrando en mí, te adoraré, te adoraré, te amamos. Milagroso, abres caminos, cumples promesas, luz en tinieblas, mi Dios, así eres tú. Milagroso, abres caminos, cumples promesas, luz en tinieblas, mi Dios, así eres tú, así eres tú. 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 Milagroso, abres caminos, cumples promesas, luz en tinieblas, mi Dios, así eres tú. Milagroso, abres caminos, cumples promesas, luz en tinieblas, mi Dios, así eres tú. Aunque no pueda ver, estás sobrando. Aunque no pueda ver, estás sobrando. Siempre estás sobrando. Siempre estás sobrando. Aunque no pueda ver, estás sobrando. Aunque no pueda luz en tinieblas, mi Dios, así eres tú. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I can't hear you. It was like how it was in the beginning. No.
How about now?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, sorry about that, guys. We're still having some issues here, but anyway, oh yeah, I hear you too. Oh, I hear you. Me too. Sonia de la Paz. Thank you, Sonia. She's a wonderful singer and a wonderful person.
Yes, super talented.
Definitely, definitely. I got an opportunity to see her in concert with Tecno Cumbia. They were a great show, obviously, and I've seen her at Fanfare. She's just amazing talent. Her and Diego, I call Diego the Wizard of Oz because he just does everything so well.
Yeah, I've only seen her on like Facebook Live. I haven't seen her in person live. I've met her before, obviously, but I haven't had a chance to see her live yet. So I definitely want to check her out soon.
And for those people that watched the music video, I don't know if you could pick out Crystal in that one because Crystal, you're a little different now, aren't you?
Just a little. I've lost some weight. I was a little bit heavier summer, so and my hair's a little bit more blonde summer, so yeah.
But I could pick you out right away because it's that smile of yours. It's a very unique smile that you have. I mean, it's unique to you. Not that it's like totally crazy or anything else. It's like I didn't mean it that way. It sounded terrible now that I think about it. It's kind of like when I went to the optometrist, and he was giving me an eye exam, and I'm slowly going blind, and so he was looking in my pupils. I mean, inside the back of my eyeball, and he kind of stares at me, and he's like, "Do you know that one eye is a little bit shorter than the other one?" And I'm thinking to myself, did he really just think about, well, I'm just going to go ahead and mention that. Not that anything can be done about it, but I want him to be self-conscious about it for the rest of his life. So I'm always cocking my head so that way one eyeball they can be even, Like who tells that? Who says that to people? But anyway, so going back to the story, you came to Texas, you came to San Antonio. You ended up getting a beautiful baby out of it. Mommy is like, I don't think so, but you did not go back.
I'm very stubborn. Yeah.
Yes. Now, and that's still, like the message of hope. You're still going to overcome. You're still going to do the best that you can, and overcome it, which was pretty awesome because with the help of your mom, from I understand, she came down and helped you out. Correct?
Yes. So as stubborn as I am, she's stubborn too. So she said, I'm moving down there. I told her, you don't need to. I'm fine. She moved here anyways. And so she helped me for 3 years, raising my son, staying at home with him while I worked so that he didn't have to go to daycare and all that. So I'm very grateful to my mom. She was, the one who took care of him while I was going to the studio and recording my album. She was the one who, if they didn't come along with me to my gigs, she would stay at home watching him so that I could go perform and stuff. So she was a very integral part of my success. So very, very grateful to her. So
yeah, it's always great to have the more family support that you have, the better, the more success that you're apt to achieve, which is awesome. You know,
Mhm.
my struggles have been with with health issues and stuff like that. But if I didn't have the support system that I have right now, there's no way that I would have been able to make it. It's just too much to ask of someone, you know, to do it on their own. And much like, you know, with your career, you've been doing your career, you've been at it for quite some time. You're you're not relatively new. It's just that you're kind of centralized in your exposure. But you know, success is nothing without somebody to share it with. And now you have several people that have helped you out, and you know that's a good thing. And I applaud your mom for that. Sonia says, "Oh, I remember, amiga, meeting you and having mijo, and then having mija, beautiful woman friend, and so talented you are." I don't know
And
who's
I think it's Olivia.
Olivia. Okay. And
That's
so, well,
friend.
guys, if I don't know your name, I'm sorry. I'm just all I get is this one for it should have been populating everything, but it's not.
Yeah, it just shows a little icon. It doesn't have
Yeah,
the
that
name.
it's
But
coming from
hi.
like Facebook and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
but you're right, you know, without family, uh, for me, without family, I'm nothing. So, it really does help to have them. They're very important part of my success.
Yeah, and you have for your first album, it's kind of play on words. I kind of thought when I read the album, I was like, isn't that a Palomino song? You know, and so,
It is, yeah.
but
I, I named it Corazón de Crystal,
mm,
but Cristal, because the album truly came from my heart. And whenever I sing, it really does come from my heart. And music has been such an important part of my life from the time I was little growing up. I was bullied very badly in middle school. And so music was my coping mechanism, music was my escape. And so it got me through a lot of hard times. And I just felt like when I was going to release this album, it was truly from my heart. And so that's why I named it Corazón de Crystal.
and it helped launch your career. I mean, you got a Tejano Music Award out of it. You know, not everybody can say that I got the best new female artist Tejano Award. You know, which is an accomplishment in itself. Especially, it shows the accomplishment of your tenacity and your willingness to go for it, but also the versatility that you have. Just listening to Corazón de Cristal, Crystal. The music is it's a wide variance of music. You have mariachi, you have tejano, you have conjunto, you have a lot of different. You've even got one of my favorite songs from that album, by the way, is "Y que pasó," and I used it in the promo because that's a catchy tune. And you got some guy rapping in there. Who's the guy?
Yeah, so it's actually my friend he's from the Dominican Republic, but he's my friend from Iowa. We went to college together. And so when we were going to be, so this song is a cover. It's a song that was made popular by a Chilean artist, Jordan,
Mhm.
in 2014, I want to say. And so when I was researching music to kind of get closer to my father's roots and, talking to my family in Chile, I came upon this song and I fell in love with it. And if you listen to the original song in Chile, they had a Chilean rapper rapping a totally different rap.
Mhm.
And when I talked to my friend and I said, "Do you think that you could write a rap?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, sure." And so he wrote that rap, he recorded it, and then we have the song. And so I'm really, really excited because he's going to be going to the Mexican Fiesta in Milwaukee, and he's going to be performing it with me live. and that's the
You know,
first time we've ever performed it. So we're really excited.
and that's wonderful. And it shows the far reaches. We oftentimes we suffer from egocentrism, kind of like a little kid. I'll give you a perfect example of what I mean by that. When a couple of Christmases ago, my granddaughter was with me, and my niece's daughter, she was there too, and they both got presents. They were dishes as presents, toy dishes, a tea set. And one of my sister-in-laws tells my granddaughter, "Hey, show your abuela," and both of them heard it. And when my granddaughter went to my wife, the other little girl, she was like, "No, no, no, this is Wella," because she thought there was only one Wella, and that was her grandmother, and didn't realize that that's universal. And we suffer from that. We think that, oh, only Tejano exists in Texas, and it doesn't. It exists all over. And case in point, my radio station is broadcast all over the world, and it's designated for that's how I started off with playing Tejano music for military personnel. And it's because they're all over, and access to Tejano music isn't as easy as it is here in Texas. But giving people the opportunity to listen to music, good music, and really Tejano music, even though it's called Tejano music, it's just Spanish music. It's American music that's influenced by country and pop and rock and all these different influences. It's a huge conglomerate of different songs and different kinds of music that make it this way, as opposed to traditional salsa, merengue, and bachata and all of that. Those are very traditional songs. They have a formula to them, and Tejano does it, which is kind of one of the things that I fell in love with. But have you come to have you come to like Odessa or San Angelo to play? Have you done that?
So, as I mentioned, I grew up in Iowa, and so because I am technically an outsider, there are still a lot of people that I don't know in the industry, whether it be promoters or even radio personnel. I'm still getting to learn to know and whatnot, but I've not had the opportunity to play in West Texas, and it breaks my heart because that's where all my family is.
Right.
I've reached out to promoters before, but I'm just ignored, which is fine. But
Well, hopefully with this, people will get to know you better and hear your music and understand, oh, I like that song. That's who that song belongs to. And hopefully that'll open some doors and get you up here, because we definitely need you to come back to visit your mom's roots, at least so that way your mom can come out and say, "That my baby girl up there on stage right there."
yeah. So
Now, so you were talking about your father being Chilean, but your stepfather is the reason that you re-released your last single. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my stepdad, who I call my dad, Luis, is from Montemorelos, Nuevo León, which is about an hour from Monterrey. And so because of him, I grew up on Los Tigres, Los Rieleros, Los Cadetes de Linares, like all the Mexican music. And so I wanted to do, a norteño version of my song. And so El Uno para el Otro, we did a norteño version. And that's my little way of saying, thank you, Dad. So I really, it's one of my favorites so far. But yeah, that's the reason why we did that norteño style, so to speak.
So and your dad's name, what's his name?
Luis.
Luis. So Luis from Crystal, a dedication for you. And it's normally that, and by the way, I'm usually just 100% Tejano. I hardly ever I never break from that. So I'm doing that for you though. This is a dedication, special dedication to Crystal's dad from Crystal. This is a beautiful song, by the way. I love it. Both versions are great. So,
and his birthday was last, so Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Here we go. And also, sorry, I keep interrupting, and I shouldn't. But he's by your dad. We're talking about her stepdad, but it's her dad who raised her.
That's
And that's why it's such a special thing. So, guys, this is el uno para el otro. Okay, here we go.
Written by
Somos el uno el para el otro, porque los dos miramos este mismo cielo. Los dos tenemos corazón al lado izquierdo, ese que late fuerte cuando yo te veo. Somos el uno el para el otro, porque tú y yo el mismo aire respiramos. ¿Cómo negarlo si el planeta que habitamos se llama igual? Ya ves que no tienes que dudarlo. Somos el uno el para el otro, y aunque lo dudes, destinado está lo nuestro. No te das cuenta que yo soy tu amor perfecto. Quiero gritarlo, pero no me deja el miedo. Somos el uno el para el otro. Tal vez lo sepas porque aún no es tu secreto. Yo me hago loca con señales que me invento. Ya solamente falta convencerte a ti que yo soy tuya y tú naciste para mí. Somos el uno el para el otro, porque tú y yo el mismo aire respiramos. ¿Cómo negarlo si el planeta que habitamos se llama igual? Ya ves que no tienes que dudarlo. Somos el uno el para el otro, y aunque lo dudes, destinado está lo nuestro. No te das cuenta que yo soy tu amor perfecto. Quiero gritarlo, pero no me deja el miedo. Somos el uno el para el otro. Tal vez no sepas porque aún no es tu secreto. Yo me hago loca con señales que me invento. Ya solamente falta convencerte a ti que yo soy tuya y tú naciste para mí.
So that's the beautiful song, you know, definitely dedicated to, well, what happened to me? I'm frozen. There I am. Well, guess not. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can see
Okay.
you too.
Okay. I'm frozen on my side, so I don't know what's going on, but
Oh no.
it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. So I can see the output there, and I can see myself moving around. So I guess it's just on my side. But that's a beautiful song, definitely. Both versions are beautiful songs. And what was the inspiration for that song? Where did that come? Where did that song come from?
So Yayo Anguiano in Monterrey wrote the song, and he submitted the lyrics to my producer Anthony Perez, and I saw the lyrics and I just fell in love with them. And we came up with this song, and I love it so much. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, most definitely. And when you told your dad, this is for you, and what did he say?
What's funny is I haven't had an opportunity to tell him yet.
Oh,
So I
wow.
need to call I know. I need to call him and tell him. He owns a trucking business, so he's on the road 24/7. I did talk to him last week for his birthday, but I need to call him and tell him. So he's pretty proud. He likes to, tell all his friends and people that he meets on the road about me. So it's
He
pretty
likes he
cool.
likes to brag, huh? He likes to, and with good reason. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a beautiful song. Come on, you know. And then
Yeah.
we also have Hi from Abilene, whoever you are from Abilene. I'm sorry, I don't see your name there. So you're going to shine in Midwest, amiga, and they're going to love you. Ooh,
I
hearts and everything else. You know, I was chatting with Sonia de la Paz one time, and I saw that emoji with the two hands up, and I didn't know what that was, and I was just like, What is that?" And she's she had to explain that it's a double high five clap. But I'm old, so I'm not supposed to know those stuff. That was so embarrassing. Now I'm just embarrassing. Now, you have a couple of music videos that I wanted to ask you about. First, I wanted to ask you about Adios Amor. What is that song about?
Yeah, so it's a Christian Nodal cover, and that's another one that I just fell in love with the lyrics and just the way that it flowed. And so when that song was released, I wanted to release a cover of it. And Gilbert Velasquez, who produced my first, produced that song as well. And he did like a really nice, kind of like a piano bolero arrangement of it. So
Mhm.
yeah, we actually most of that video in my house.
Oh, wow. And then also you
Yeah,
have as Sigo Enamorada. Now that's an
yeah,
interesting song as well. Um, just give I know what the background is, so if you would like to enlighten us.
yeah. That song was actually written by Matthew Luna, who is in the band Carlos y los Cachorros, and he was like, "I have this perfect song for you," and so I recorded it. Shelly Lattis produced it, and immediately when I heard the lyrics, I thought of my husband, and we were in the process of getting married through the church. And so that was my present to him, recording the song. And then he didn't know it, but we had a videographer shooting footage throughout, the whole time. And so the footage you see is from our actual wedding day. Um, so yeah, he had no idea. So he was pretty surprised, and he really liked the present, obviously. But
I think
I'm
you like
so
the prize as well.
yes, yeah. Um, I'm so thankful the fact that I even have fans, because I call myself a mom who sings. I'm from Iowa. Whoever thought that I would be here, and so I'm very grateful for the success that I've had so far, and the success that I pray that I continue to have. And so that video was also a way to kind of give a sneak peek into our lives. And so, the fans really enjoyed seeing that as well. So,
One of the things that I've noticed is that you have a lot of songs. You pick a lot of songs with meaning, um, because of the fact that you're like most artists. You put a lot of your heart into your craft, and there's this song on your album, or a song that you've sung before, that is really touching to me, and it's a beautiful song, and it's called "Mi Niña Bonita."
yes. So I actually co-wrote that with one of my good friends, Jose Rosario Gonzalez, who at one point was a music executive for Sony. He was very instrumental in Selena's success, in Stephanie Montiel's success, and he's a songwriter as well. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, I approached him and said, hey, I've been, writing lyrics. I have this idea. What do you think? And I showed it to him and he was like, let's write this song. And so the bulk of it was already written and he just finished it out. And so we wrote that song for my daughter. And that was, I guess, my present to her when she was born. So, she's heard it before. I don't think she really realizes the significance of it yet. But it's a very special song to me. I danced with my mom to that song at my wedding reception. I know mother-daughter dances aren't common, but I was like, you know what? This is going to happen and I'm going to dance to this song with my mom.
It's your day. It's your day. You can do whatever you want with your day.
Yeah, and so it's really cool because I've had several requests through the years from weddings to quinceañeras to sing that song. So I'm actually next month going to sing that song at a quinceañera. It's going to be the mother-daughter dance. So I'm really excited about that because I really do try to pick songs. If I can't write them myself, I'll try to, pick songs that have meaning because I feel as though if I were to pick songs that I don't really believe in or that I don't have any, significance with it, then I'm not going to sing it with passion or feeling or emotion or anything like that. So I really do try to pick songs that do have meaning to me. So, yeah. Yeah,
most definitely. So guys, like I said, it's a beautiful song. It's called Mi Niña Bonita. This is Crystal Torres with Mi Niña Bonita. I am NDO here on Cubo Radio.
Puede ser que algo crece en mí tan lindo y tan puro. ¿Cómo agradecer que te voy a ver? Te adoro, lo juro. Eres un sueño realizado, magia del cielo, un gran milagro. Eres mi niña consentida de nuestras vidas, amor sagrado. Mi niña bonita, hermosa muñequita que Dios me ha regalado. Mi niña bonita, quiero ver tu carita y así pasan los años. Mi niña bonita, qué lindas tus manitas cuando toquen mis manos. Puede ser que algo crece en mí tan lindo y tan puro. ¿Cómo agradecer que te voy a ver? Te adoro, lo juro. sueño realizado, magia del cielo, un gran milagro. Eres mi niña consentida de nuestras vidas, amor sagrado. Mi niña bonita, hermosa muñequita que Dios me ha regalado. Mi niña bonita, tan frágil, tan divina, mi tesoro más preciado. Mi niña bonita, quiero ver tu carita y así pasan los años. Mi niña bonita, qué lindas tus manitas cuando toquen mis manos. Eres el arco iris después de un día lluvioso. Vida, cuando nos mires, seremos muy dichosos.
Oh yeah, there you go. Good song, great song. Mi Niña Bonita, Crystal Torres. So,
Yay.
who was singing backup on that song?
Shelly Lattice. Yeah. She
Yeah,
produced
she's
the song.
she's
She's amazing.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. She's all over the place, and I totally love the fact that she's one of those artists that loves helping the people that are starting up. You know, even though
Mhm.
technically you've been around for 10 years, it's still, she doesn't mind helping out, and that's a beautiful part of her personality. That's what makes her so special, and we're dearly
Yeah.
going to miss her on the road, but she's not walking away. She's just walking away from touring.
Right. She's still going to be in music. She's still going to produce, and she's really awesome. My very first Tejano, I guess, concert, so to speak, was at the Tejano convention 10 years ago. And it was before my album was even released. And I was able to get up and perform for 30 minutes, and she introduced me. And so she's been very, instrumental part in not only my success, but kind of watching me grow through the years. And she's very supportive, always willing to, give advice. And she's awesome.
Okay, so real quick, where can we find some information from you? I mean, for those people that want to, first of all, want to book you, and then also for people that want to get a hold of maybe some of your merch, buy your album, where can we go?
Yeah, so I am on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. You can message my Facebook Messenger. It comes directly to me if you want to book, if you want to buy merchandise, anything like that. They can get in contact with me. They can also email Crystal Torres Tejano at gmail.com. Or they can get a hold of Myra D on Facebook. She's my promoter.
Yeah, Mayra D from Cielo Entertainment. And she's,
Entertainment.
yeah,
Shout out to she's awesome.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person. I love her personality. She's got a unique conversational style, I should say, which I truly adore. She's a sweetheart.
Hold on, my daughter's talking.
She doesn't know anything about interviews.
Yeah, I've been in the back room, which I use as my media room, and I said, "Shh, be quiet back here." But she's asking for. She wants some strawberry. She's asking to go to the want strawberries.
Well, there you go. So we've come to the end of the show, and what I usually do is for all artists, I give them the opportunity to go ahead and share or say the thank yous and share that information of where anything and everything that you want to go ahead and give to the audience, the people that are listening in. And real quickly, I just want to remind everybody that it's wonderful that you stream the music. It's great that you go ahead and do that. I'm not telling you not to, but you have to be realistic. If you stream one song for 1,000,000 times, they only get $1,000 out of it. If you really want to help an artist, you want to request their music, but not only that, you want to go to their shows, you want to buy their merchandise, and you want to support them that way. You can buy the song. It's only $1.50. You buy $5 cup of coffee, $1.50 won't hurt you much. So with that being said, Crystal, the floor is yours. You can go ahead and whatever you need to say to whoever you want to say it to. Let me get out of here real quick.
Thank you for saying that, because it really is important, because people don't necessarily realize that, if they play the song on YouTube, we don't get paid, and if they stream it on Spotify, we only get a third of a penny. So exactly what you said, call the radio stations, request our music, contact your local nightclub and request, us to go play over there. And if you are interested in my music, you can find it on all online retailers, streaming services. You can contact me on all social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everything pretty much. And I try to get to everybody's messages who contact me. So if you want to get in contact with me, you can go ahead and message me. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I can't necessarily see names on my end, but if you support me and your friend or family, I really, really appreciate it. It really does mean the world to me.
And go ahead and like she said, you can go ahead and hit her up on Facebook. She does. And just like everybody else, remember, we all have jobs outside of what we do that we love so much. This is a labor of love. And but it's also something that's it's a beautiful thing. And songs, music is eternal, it's universal. And you're always going to have a song that's going to remind you of something, a song that's going to remember us. You're going to remember a smile. You're going to remember a time you spent with that person or doing that thing. So, Crystal, thank you so very much for being here. I do want to say thank you so very much. I'm sorry we got it off to a rocky start. Also, you are welcome anytime you want to come back and share with us. I know you've got more music in the works, and this is true.
Thank you.
Yeah. And hopefully, yeah. And so hopefully you guys over here in West Texas area, hopefully we can get to see you perform, seeing as how you got a lot of family out here. Hopefully y'all guys can come on out, and hopefully we can make something happen. So with that being said, thank you so very much, Crystal. I really do appreciate it. Say hi to your little daughter. Hopefully she gets her strawberries. And so we're going to leave you with another song showing her versatility, her vocal ability. Now, you've heard her sing some norteño, you've heard her sing some mariachi. She was in, singing. By the way, singing in a group, harmonizing is very different from being a lead singer. It's a very hard thing to do. And so,
Yeah.
That once again just shows your versatility. And, we were talking, and I failed to mention that you also do country music. You have a good varied live performance. You've got a lot of different songs that you can bring to the table. It's not just one or the other. And especially considering that you're not centralized in one thing, you've got a lot of different background to you, your Chilean father, and your Mexican dad, and coming from West Texas, which is more of a conjunto kind of thing, and Des Moines, Iowa. I didn't know there were Hispanics in Des Moines. I thought it was like against the law or something. Just kidding. No. I know they exist in every state.
Growing up, there wasn't hardly any, but I kind of have to credit my university that I graduated from, Iowa State, because there were a lot of Puerto Rican and Dominican students who got scholarships to go there. And so a lot of my friends were the ones who introduced me to bachata and salsa and merengue and reggaeton. And so El Ave Phoenix, which is the rapper that you'll hear on this next song, is one of my friends from the Dominican Republic who lives in Iowa. And I was influenced by a lot of different genres. So
yeah, definitely. I've said it on the show before. Being Native American, if I was in living in Texas, everybody thinks you're Mexican. In Florida, they think you're Cuban. In New York, they think you're Puerto Rican, and you're just a little bit of everything. And it's like, well, we'll just roll with the punches and we'll go with that. With that being said, Crystal Torres, thank you so very much for being with us today. I really do appreciate it. Please stay on the line. We'll be right back with you. In the meantime, for those guys that were joining in, thank you so very much. I'm sorry that we weren't able to identify you for the comments and everything else. We will be back this Saturday with another guest artist. It's Javi Guerra. And we still have Crystal's music on the radio here on Cuba Radio. I'm NDO. This is ¿Y qué pasó, right?
yeah.
¿Y qué pasó from Crystal Torres. You're going to love this song. I guarantee it. It goes like this. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Not working. Let me see if I can pick it up. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. There's another way around it.
Este momento
fue fingido, eso es parte del destino. Que me animo a quererme, no te obligo. Si quieres puedes buscarme porque sigo siendo el mismo, porque se acabó. Por ti yo sentí amor que no pasó. El cariño me negó y mi corazón a mí me reclamó. Porque no hiciste esfuerzo, no había corazón. Tanto cariño.
¿Y qué